Halen, shredding it. Oh, let's do another. I need to listen to the music for a minute first, one just to calm a little bit down. Just calm down. I heard some very disturbing news today. All right, Van Halen, go away. All right. Some of you may have seen the title. Violence isn't the answer. Everyone's heard that growing up. Violence is never the answer. Violence is never the answer. Two wrongs don't make a right, etc., etc. I'm not terribly sure the rules apply anymore like that. I don't know. Let's talk it out. Let's talk about the left, all right? The left seemingly can commit any crime they want without any kind of punishment, no consequences, and they get away with it. Right? Well, you get kicked off of Twitter, you can get banned on your YouTube channel, you can have your social media taken away, you can be unbanked. But not the left. Not the left. They just get a GoFundMe and they're rich. Like that kid in Texas who stabbed the other kid. Everybody knows their names. One of them gets $1 million because he needs a GoFundMe for self-defense, and people were mean to him. He's rich now. Family's rich. He murdered that kid, in my opinion. And he's going to get away with it. The same thing with Arena on the train the other day, down in the Carolinas. Brutally, ruthlessly stabbed. I got that white girl, he said. She died. She bled out within moments. Vicious. No, he's got to GoFundMe too. And he's going to get out of jail because he has a case of the SADS. He's got some mental health problems. He can't help it. Racism or something. And then, of course, we got the Charlie Kirk one. Vicious person or group of people, we're not even sure yet, murdered one of the most peaceful men on the planet. This guy could go toe-to-toe with Mahatma Gandhi. No problem. Super peaceful. They killed him because they couldn't out-debate him. And then they had to call him racist, and they had to call him a tyrant, and a fascist, and sexist, and because that's all they have left is lies. And the left, the group of the left, the ambiguous left, goes and supports him. They have flags, they're selling t-shirts. Hello to you two that just left some chats. Good to see you. So the left sells t-shirts. They start mocking everything that Charlie stood for. They wish death threats upon his wife and his children, because certainly they're evil as well, just for making proximity to Charlie. And they're going to get away with it. Now, the shooter, the person they're claiming to be the shooter, almost got away with it. Almost. He had people running cover for him, distractions, the whole thing. And he probably would have gotten away with it, except his family turned him in. That's a weird one, but we can get into those details later. And then you get Destiny. Destiny, he wants everyone on the right. What's the word he used? Oh, yeah, he wanted them to be killed. Oh, you're not supposed to say that word on YouTube anymore. Yeah, I think the rules are going to relax a little bit because we're sick of being murdered. So now if you say the word, it's as bad as doing the crime. Yeah, I think those days are pretty much behind us at this point. So, another one that came up this is the one that got me set off. This is the one that made me want to do this video today. That was just a little background to show you where my headspace is at. Jimmy Kimmel. What an absolute piece of garbage Jimmy Kimmel is. So Jimmy Kimmel says, I don't know, vaguely hurtful things about Charlie Kirk. Now, I think Jimmy Kimmel is a piece of garbage. But he is allowed to say the things that he said about Kirk. Rude, mean, full of lies. But he can say it. Oh no, sometimes those things have consequences. Well, they do. They do have consequences. What happened was a whole bunch of people said, hey, advertisers, are you sure you want to put your message behind this guy? This guy. You want him to be associated with your brand, and the advertisers pulled out. They go, nope, not touching this one. You can't say this about a man that was assassinated, and you can't say, oh, look, it's too bad, boo-hoo, so sad, whatever. You could have just shut up, or you could have a moment of silence. He couldn't do it, couldn't help himself. So, his advertisers pulled out. Now, Jimmy Kimmel show sucks. And I'm not saying that because I don't like him. It's not a personal opinion. It loses money. It loses like $40 million a year. No one watches it. The demographics are awful. His age group is in the 70s. And to be quite honest, that age group isn't spending a lot of money. So who are they advertising to? They got a couple of boner pills and some reverse mortgages, and I don't know what else they're selling on his channel, his TV show now. Anyway, so the advertisers pulled out. Like, we don't want to be associated with this. That's the consequences. Those are the consequences. You say things people don't like, they don't have to follow you and support you anymore. Oh no, the right is evil for pointing out things that exist. Okay? That's his punishment. His backers, his advertisers be pulled out. So Jimmy Kimmel gets temporarily removed off the TV show, off the airwaves. They pulled his show for a day or two. Okay, great. Those are your consequences. Did Trump do it? Nope. Did the FCC do it? Nope. It's just his own consequences from being an asshole, and no one wanted to give him money for that. Ta-da! That's how it worked. That's all it was. Okay, no problem. Now, the right has basically hated ABC and Disney for years after they ruthlessly abused Gina Carano for that Disney thing. She had an opinion. Oh no, you're not allowed to have that opinion. You lose your ability to feed your family. We're taking away all the money you can earn. Sorry. You know, words have consequences. Okay, well, Gina Carano's going to be fine. Jimmy Kimmel's probably going to be fine. But here's the stark difference between them. Jimmy Kimmel says something wrong. Oh no, boo-hoo. Loses the show for a couple days. Gina Carano said something that was, to be quite honest, far nicer. And they just fired her.
Limit is
Boom.
50 miles per
That's
hour.
it.
Slow down.
So back to Kimmel, okay? The right in general, the conservatives, have been sick of Disney and ABC and their messages and their propaganda and their lies for years, and nothing happened. Oh no, we're not going to watch Disney anymore. Okay, bye. Oh no, that's the worst that happened.
Is 30 miles per hour.
The absolute
Slow
worst that
down.
happened. Now, this has been going on for decades. No one on the right shot up Disney. No one on the right shot up ABC News for having bad opinions. No one went to The View and planted a bomb or called it a bomb threat. No one did that. No one did that to Stephen Colbert. No one did it to anyone else on the left. We just stopped watching and supporting. That's it. And then we all moved on with our lives. Now, since they fired Jimmy Kimmel, and he's a leftist, the left lost their mind. 24 hours later, someone shooting up ABC. Because the left can't control themselves and they're exceptionally violent. Right? See the difference there? The right gets real mad. We just stop paying for stuff. The left gets real mad. They start shooting. Now the shooter, they caught the guy. They caught the guy who shot the ABC building. They caught him right away. No problem. Cameras everywhere. Easy. He's a leftist. He's an anti-gun, anti-2A, anti-gun right freak. So of course, the first thing he did when he picked up a gun, when he got mad, is he picked up a gun. Of course. These people have no ability to control themselves, so he had to get a gun and shoot the building. They made him mad. They had to. And yet the right does nothing. Charlie Kirk was murdered. The right had vigils. Charlie Kirk was murdered, and they went to church. The left. Someone got fired. Shoot the building. Their solution, shoot the building. This was in the middle of the day. It was like noon o'clock. There were people in the lobby. They're just I shoot into buildings. That's what I do. Someone could have got hurt. Yeah, we don't care. We're mad. The left is mad, so we're just going to shoot into the middle of town. The left is dangerous and violent. So after they caught the shooter at the ABC building, he goes to a Democrat judge, I'm assuming. And what happens? Jail? Probation? Ankle monitor. Nah, he's out, he's free. Let him go. But the left hates gun crimes. They hate gun violence. Except when it's committed by leftists. And then it's okie dokie. Nothing to see here, boys. Let him go. He's got more gun crimes to go commit. So there's no punishment. So let's run this down. Here's how I see it. The left, when they don't get their way, they go on a shooting spree. They shoot up the building. And then they get released. No consequences. So it seems like they're allowed to commit violence without penalties. Now, I just heard the other day, now this is an unconfirmed rumor, I heard about it, might not even be true. Jimmy Kimmel's going to be back on the air tomorrow night. He gets his show back. So let me get this right. Am I putting the puzzle pieces together? When the left gets mad, they commit violence. When the left gets mad, they can go shooting up a building to make their point. Then, what they wanted was ABC to not fire Jimmy Kimmel. So ABC says, oh, we're getting shot at. Put Jimmy Kimmel back on the air.
65 miles per hour.
So the left is allowed, for all intents and purposes, they are allowed to commit violence. They are not prosecuted, they are not punished, and they get what they want. Jimmy Kimmel's going to be back on the air.
The speed limit is 50 miles per hour.
Explain to me how violence isn't the answer. Explain that to me.
The speed limit is 35
This may take a minute for you to think about it
down.
and wrap your head around it, but then when you do, leave it in the comments. Come back in a few minutes and write down and explain to me why they're allowed to commit violence and then they get what they want anyway, and then there's no consequences. As a leftist, let's pretend you're a leftist. Is there any reason for them to stop doing violence? They always get what they want. Why would they ever stop? Because I gotta tell you, it's working. They get what they want. They use violence, they break stuff, they shoot stuff, they murder people, and then they go on about their day. Sometimes they're even enriched for the trouble. Now that guy in Texas who stabbed that other football player, he's going to get $1 million for legal fees and will probably get 30 days in jail, if that. Because if they put that black kid in jail for stabbing a white boy, we're going to get another Ferguson, we're going to get another George Floyd, build statues and build monuments and burn down another city. Because black kid killed white kid, must burn down city. Now, if black kid kills white kid and he gets to go free, no violence. That's the left's threat, more violence. You do what we want or we do violence. So why would they stop? That's the question of the day. That's what's been on my mind. The left is doing violence and they're getting what they want. Why would they stop? It's working. That's it. That's the question of the day. I need someone who's a lot smarter than I am to figure it out. Let me know. Is the solution for the right to start doing violence? Is that the solution? Do we get to have our way if we start doing violence now? Does it have to come to that? I don't want it to come to that. But I'm looking at the playbook and it seems like that's what's working. Man, let me know. I don't know. Let me know. That's my point. That's my question. That's what's going on in my head today. The left does violence and it works. Does the right need to do violence to get what it wants? That's it. Somebody explain it to me. I can't figure it out. All right, for the 4 people that said hi in here, hi very much. Thank you. I'm glad you were watching. Can you come up with an answer for me how this works? All right. I will see you guys soon. Thanks a bunch. As always, stay safe out there.